Hey, Sandals Church men. My name's Pastor Andrew Bogenwright. I'm the men's pastor here. Hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in this world. We are starting to reopen, and for me, one of the things I was excited about is reopening the gym. So I love to work out. That's where I get a lot of my just kind of emotional release when things feel heavy. And so I've been using my little weights at home. And the first thing I noticed when I got back in the gym is that I had lost a lot of strength. I couldn't move the things that I could move before. You know, when you use little weights, it's hard to move big ones when given the opportunity. And I realized, without even knowing it, that I had slid in my physical strength and had lost some of what I had built before. And I noticed if you went to church this weekend as we reopened services for Sandals, that it felt kind of similar. You know, there's about 25% of our congregation was there. A lot of people are watching online, which is fine. But I noticed that people were kind of timid in their worship, timid in conversation, timid in their expression of worship to God and how they feel about Him. And I noticed just kind of as a whole that we had lost some of our spiritual vitality and strength. And then we met in small group last night, and as we were talking about some of the discussion questions, person after person, and these are all great committed believers, talked about how they had begun neglecting their spiritual disciplines, hadn't been spending as much time with God, hadn't been reading His Word as much, and they felt weak, they felt distant from Him. And so I think it's really important. My assumption would be that a lot of us are in that same boat. And I want to talk about spiritual disciplines because strength comes from discipline, right? When we practice something over and over, when we create habits, when we do things through repetition, we get stronger, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And so if you're feeling weak in any way, if you're feeling weak spiritually or emotionally, look at your disciplines. Look at how you've been connecting or not connecting with God. Because here's the reality that we can't do it on our own. We cannot accomplish the things God wants us to do. We cannot live this life well on our own. We absolutely need God and His strength in our lives. And so I think what a lot of us think that we can do is that we can muster up the strength that we need in the moment and that we can just kind of push through. And so if I were to ask you right now to go run a marathon, and I said, get up right now and go do it, how many of you guys could run a marathon? Probably not very many. There's a few obnoxious guys in there that could do it, but the reality is most of us could not do it no matter how much strength we tried to muster up. And so the truth is, if you were to train for the next 6 months and build little by little, running every few days, building your mileage each week, then in 6 months, most of you could run a marathon barring any injury because you built up your strength over time. And so spiritually speaking, when something big hits us or something like COVID that just kind of zaps a lot of our energy and vitality, we think that we can muster our way through it. But as the months wear on, a lot of us are recognizing that we're weaker than we thought we were. I would not have thought that I was prone to depression, but in times like this, I've seen how, man, it's creeping up on me and I have to work extra hard to fight it off. And so here's what I want to encourage you to do, to really look at your spiritual disciplines. Look at where you're investing your time. It doesn't take a lot of time to build up yourself spiritually. It takes a lot of consistency and discipline. You know, spending a few minutes reading God's Word, spending a few minutes praying to God, spending a few minutes listening, and spending a few minutes jotting down what's coming to mind. What are the things that are on your heart? What are you wrestling with? What do you need God for? I mean, we're talking 15, 20 minutes a day, and you can be transformed by the work of God in your life. Man, listen to the Bible app while you're driving. Listen to a podcast that turns your heart toward God. And God uses those times, uses that discipline to begin to transform your thinking, your mentality, your emotions, everything during those times. So I want to encourage you to press into that, to really get back to your disciplines. Be willing to set an alarm. Be willing to jump back into your small group. Be willing to listen online, even if you're going out of town this summer, to the Sunday sermons. Man, those things shape us if we allow them to, and especially when we're consistent. And alongside all of that, I want to encourage you, make sure your heart is in it, right? This is not about just doing duties so that we can grow. It's about exposing our heart to God and saying, God, my heart's not where I want it to be. I don't love people like I want to love them. I don't do for others what I wish that I wanted to do. I don't serve faithfully. I don't love my wife the way I need to. I don't love my parents the way I need to, my siblings, coworkers, roommates, whatever it is, whoever is in your life. And ask God to transform you from the inside out, because it's the discipline alongside the heart that makes total transformation in our lives. So, men, keep working at it. Don't give up. Keep pressing in. Reestablish those spiritual disciplines. And as always, we're praying for you. Please reach out if you need anything. We love you. God bless.